This last week has been defined by Donald Trump opening his arms to corrupt politicians on the other side of the aisle if they will help him in doing mass deportations, right? That's what he's doing with foreign leaders. That's what he wants with Modi in India. And that is what he wants with disgraced yet somehow still current mayor of New York City, Eric Adams. But yeah, so Mayor Eric Adams, who this morning was on Fox and Friends being the most man who's currently being held hostage man. There's no other way to say this. He is on Fox and Friends with none other than border czar Tom Homan, who is sitting next to him, a little bit looking like he's his chaperone slash parole officer slash mafia boss who's making sure his little boy is falling in line. And I want to watch this exchange because it is terrifying and also incredibly telling. And we're going to get into the further crisis this week. It wasn't just obviously Elon Musk and Doggy getting access to even more and more agencies, or the confirmation of RFK Jr., which if you haven't talked enough about, go watch America Unhinged from last night with me and Wajahat Ali on Zateo. It is also about Eric Adams, and it is about the request from the DOJ to SDNY to drop all charges into Eric Adams's bribery, accepting foreign money in order to skirt construction law in New York City, so that a Turkish government could build a building. I mean, it's so amazing how little people can be bought off for. And in exchange, obviously, he got money. He also got free trips on Turkish Airlines. My guy was like, oh, I'm headed to the Caribbean, but first I got to go to Istanbul. First, I'm going to go to Istanbul. Like, it's just amazing. Like, not only are the rich, like, destroying the planet in their private jets, but you got these corrupt-ass mofos who are literally doing layovers 6 hours away. 6 hours, way more than that, right? We are going to just do a layover, an extra 40-hour trip over to Turkey. Now, this week, obviously Donald Trump and the DOJ are saying they're going to dismiss these charges. They still haven't quite found the attorney who's going to help them do it. In fact, we are currently in the process of the Department of Justice strong-arming attorneys in the Southern District of New York in order to drop the charges that they investigated, that they found evidence of, the bribery that they found evidence of. They want them to drop it. And we'll get into that a little bit more. But here is the reason that they want to drop charges for Mayor Eric Adams, is so that he can hand the undocumented people in New York City on a platter over to ICE.
To the Bronx. We interviewed a representative from the Bronx, and he said he talks to everyone on the street. Not one person wants that facility built. What's the status on that? Is there any way we
that's a great, you know what's interesting? If I go to anywhere in the city, when I had 220,000 migrants here, anywhere in the city, and ask who would like a shelter there, not one elected would raise a hand. And then you ask them the next question, how many of you went to Washington, D.C. under the previous administration and said, you need to stop this? I took 10 trips there. So you cannot represent your concern merely from the sterilized environment of your office space. They should have been with us saying, we need to stop this flow, and they weren't. And so the shelter.
You know what's so funny about this? This is him crapping all over Democrats, even though you'll hear he's still gonna run in the Democratic Party. Everybody supports Zoran in New York City and his run for mayor. But this is him saying that, like, oh, they didn't stop the flow, and I was, it's like who stopped the flow? What? Biden rolled out an effing app, CBP1, that was effectively cutting down this awful flow of undocumented migrants / asylum seekers. Oh, the food vendors, the people trying to flee the gang violence that your stupid ass war on drugs created. And then It's like, it's just so amazing. The arc of Eric Adams is so amazing that now he's being extorted into delivering the undocumented people in a sanctuary city to the Republican Party and to ICE. So here he is complaining. So he's kind of save his ass a little. And there's Homan like, yes, just like we rehearsed. Shit on the Dems.
Don't just have to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how long is the federal government going to be paying for the Roosevelt Hotel or any of these other sanctuary hotels?
We're continuing to close them down because of the job that we did. 180,000 out of our system. We closed down Floyd Bentonville.
So one at a time, closing them down?
No, more than one at a time. We have to close down as the population decrease. We put in place a 30 and 60-day plan. No one can stay long.
So this is Steve Doocy and all these other people that literally never set foot in actual New York City. They just get, flown either on helicopter or in a black car back to their homes in Jersey or Connecticut or wherever the F. Or they literally walk like 2 blocks and they've got a penthouse. I'm not even sure where they live. And they're like, oh, these migrants are being, can you believe it? It's like, okay, so what's the alternative? You want people to be in the streets? Because we've seen them in the streets. You don't want people to be in the streets, but you want them to be, okay, why don't you, give them a ride in your little chopper. Okay, buddy? But yeah, there's obviously more. This is where it gets good.
Because your president that you were working for and what worked for his reelection, let that happen and didn't take your phone calls when you asked for help.
100%.
He
I agree.
iced you out. So
right.
you're gonna have a decision.
That's a good point.
Right.
Well, the days of
They're talking. So this, oh my God. I swear to God, the things I want to say about this man. So this is obviously he's being called out. He's like, oh yeah, you tried to contact President Biden, and he didn't even pick up your calls. And Eric Adams just like, okay, whatever you need to do, I'm doing the dance for you. Okay, sure, whatever you need me to say, it's fine. I just please drop my bribery charges, drop the charges.
days of the federal government paying the migrant centers are over.
Good. Right.
Right.
So, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, here comes like a literal bridge troll. Tom Homan. This guy, he's gonna say about this hotels. Yeah, these guys, these migrants, these brownies, they don't speak English. Why does he talk like a high school bully grew up to live under a bridge and say fee fi fo fum? Like who's crossing my bridge? Straight up, Tom Homan has the scariest voice. It is the scariest voice I've ever heard.
Yes.
You're going to run for re-election?
Yes.
Are you considering running as a Republican?
I'm going to run on the Democratic line. We petitioning to starting soon. Running as a Democrat. There's a many Democrats like
For now, dog. For now, until he gets blown out and then he runs as an independent.
look at those 78% that believe what we do, what ICE is doing about getting dangerous people out. I think that we have to get people out to vote. That is the problem.
But you're losing by about 25 points to former Governor Cuomo, who wants to be Mayor Cuomo.
Well, listen to this. I had another Andrew in my previous race. He was beating me by double digits in February, but we don't call Andrew Yang mayor. We call Eric Adams mayor. Never give up. New Yorkers never give up. People had me gone months ago, but you know what? I'm sitting on your couch talking to Fox.
Wait. People had me gone months ago, but here I am sitting on your couch. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder what happened. What happened between you being gone because you were under federal bribery charges and you sitting on Fox and Friends' couch? Could it have something to do with the bridge troll sitting next to you? This fucking pimple come to life. This guy who's like just a Ren and Stimpy cartoon right over here, who's twisting your arm underneath the table and making sure that you fall in line, or he's not going to make your bribery charges disappear. They made your bribery charges disappear. They're still working on the legal logistics. No big deal. Just a bunch of lawyers are going to be resigning from the Justice Department in order to make way to clear this guy of his charges or dismiss them, right? They're not even really going to pardon him. They're just going to dismiss him. They can be brought up later. This dude is selling his entire soul for just face the music. It's not even the worst part yet.
City today talking about the new alliance between ICE and Adams. So thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you
and
so
Thank
much.
you.
telling us the news.
Make it a
Alliance
regular-
was never severe.
Yeah,
And
make it a
if he
regular
doesn't
thing.
come
I would love
true,
to.
Make it. You're up early anyway.
if he doesn't come true, I'll be back in New York City,
Right.
and we won't be sitting on the couch. I'll be in his office, up his butt, saying, "Where the hell is the agreement we came to?" So
Right.
And I want ICE to
believe we'll
deliver.
move
And I
forward.
want ICE to deliver. We're going to deliver for the safety of the people of this city.
We gotta rewatch that. So they're wrapping up. And Homan's gotta have this line. He's gotta have this line. If he doesn't deliver, I'm gonna be back in his office, up his butt. And then Adams is like, okay, I'm not that
It's
much
this
your
called a
son.
mega migrant shelter that's going to be
Yeah.
built in the Bronx. We interviewed a
Let's
representative.
go to the end.
So thank you.
Make it. You're up-
was never severe.
Yeah,
And
make it a
if he
regular
doesn't
thing.
come
I would love
true,
to.
Make it. You're up early anyway.
if he doesn't come true, I'll be back in New York City,
Right.
and we won't be sitting on the couch. I'll be in his office, up his butt, saying, "Where the hell is the agreement we came to?" So
Right.
And I want ICE to
believe we'll
deliver.
move
And I
forward.
want ICE to deliver. We're going to deliver.
And I want ICE to deliver. We're gonna deliver. He's trying to commandeer the comment. He's like, yeah, and you're gonna deliver, and we're gonna deliver safety for the American people, buddy. You gave it up. You gave up the whole. You gave it up. You think any New Yorker sees what you're doing and thinks that you got their back, that you care about safety? No. You see the stats of how many people are being deported, and half of them don't have any criminal records, and you think about safety? You want to let this deputized white nationalist run roughshod all over your people? No. And you want to get reelected in the Democratic Party? No. All right? And he just told you who's zooming who. He just told you who's whose son, all right? You're his son now. That's it. You're his son. You made this deal. You went to Mar-a-Lago. You begged and begged and begged, and this is what it is. I swear to God, is the timeline, the arc of this villain, man, the arc. Just face the music. Just face the bribery charges. You could still get reelected, but no. You had, and not only that, you agreed to sit next to Tom Homan and make it so it even more looks like it wasn't your idea. It's so more clear, so much clearer that it truly is extortion and blackmail, as if the memo from the DOJ didn't already read like extortion and blackmail. You know, this happened last night, the Thursday night massacres, which has everything to do with the dropping of bribery charges by on Eric Adams. This is Steve Vladeck on his Substack writing about the DOJ and what they did this week. So I'm just going to read a little bit about what happened. So he said, on Monday night, basically, $100,000 worth of free plane tickets. $100,000, that's nothing. $100,000 is not. You can fight this. Fight it. You can fight it, or take whatever it is. You think they're gonna put you in jail? You think like face the music. Just face the music. No. You have to have your dignity also destroyed by going and running to Mar-a-Lago. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But anyway, on Monday, Acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove, this is the memo, directed the New York federal prosecutors to drop the charges, offering a series of reasons that failed to persuade. But what's the most striking about the first Bove memo was footnote 1. Your office correctly noted on February 3rd, 2025, as Mr. Bove clearly stated to defense counsel during our meeting, the government is not offering to exchange dismissal of a criminal case for Adams' assistance on immigration enforcement. Just to repeat, the government is not offering to exchange dismissal of a criminal case for Adams's assistance on immigration enforcement. Now, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name, but Steve, this is a great piece. Steve writes, there's an old Twitter meme about how, quote, my not my not involved in human trafficking shirt has people asking a lot of questions already answered by my shirt, which is so funny. I don't know the meme, but my not involved in human trafficking shirt is people asking a lot of questions already answered by my shirt. Or if you prefer, the lady doth protest too much. That was my reaction to this footnote and the need to put it in writing that dropping the prosecution was not in exchange for assistance on immigration enforcement, and sure seemed to strongly imply that actually it was. Fast forward to a letter sent yesterday to Attorney General Bondi by Danielle Sassoon, the interim U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York. Sassoon's letter is stunning, and the New York Times has helpfully annotated it to provide additional background. Not only did she vigorously defend the decision to indict Adams and the strength of the indictment, she also wrote that during the meeting that Bove's memo mentioned in footnote 1, Adams's lawyers had indeed repeatedly urged what amounted to a quid pro quo, indicating that Adams would be in a position to assist with the department's enforcement priorities only if the indictment were dismissed. So he went to Mar-a-Lago explicitly saying, this is who I can give to you. It's obviously it's my whole hole, but it's also a bunch of New Yorkers. It's New Yorkers that work hard to keep the city going. It's New Yorkers who feed you. It's New Yorkers who've absolutely prepared a gourmet meal for Eric Adams at his table of success. His table. All my haters will become my waiters. Bitch, you are such a waiter. You are a busboy, but you're not even good enough to be a busboy. The undocumented people that you want to deport, you could never work a single night in their shoes. You could never do that work. You're a fucking cop, man. So mad. The letter goes on to methodically pick apart all of the arguments the Bove memo made for dropping the case against Adams and requests that Bondi reconsider Bove's memo in light of the analysis. As Sassoon concluded, quote, I cannot fulfill my obligations effectively, lead my office in carrying out the department's priorities, or credibly represent the government before the courts if I seek to dismiss the Adams case on this record. If Bondi wouldn't reconsider, Sassoon offered her resignation as interim U.S. attorney. Now, remember, what they were asked to do was to drop these charges because, according to the Trump administration, they were politically motivated. It's all just the Biden crime family going after Eric Adams. Why? Why if SDNY, why if they are so politically corrupt, why would they bring bribery charges against a Democrat? If it is a Biden master plan, why would they bring bribery charges against what many Democratic pundits were calling the future of the Democratic Party? Somehow kill me, oh my God. They wouldn't. It makes no sense. And of course it makes no sense. But no one's going to break that down for the right wingers. No one's going to break that down. They don't understand that. It would have all been scandalous enough. But then there's the 8-page letter Bove sent to Sassoon today purporting to accept her resignation. So again, Sassoon's like, I'm not going to do this. I would resign. And accusing her of insubordination. As Bove writes, the decision is based on your choice to continue pursuing a politically motivated prosecution despite an express instruction to dismiss the case. You lost sight of the oath that you took when you started at the Department of Justice and other things. So, no, she's very much keeping with her constitutional rights by continuing to bring these charges. Bove then noted that he's placing 2 of the assistant U.S. attorneys who assisted in the Adams case on administrative leave and is transferring the Adams case to the Justice Department's Public Integrity Section, which he explained will seek dismissal of the prosecution. Now, okay. Shortly thereafter, a top lawyer in that section and the acting head of the criminal division resigned, followed a few hours later by 3 other attorneys. In other words, 6 senior Justice Department lawyers resigned rather than carrying out Bove's directive to drop the Adams case. In case you're scoring at home, that's twice as many lawyers as were fired or resigned in the original Saturday Night Massacre, which was when Nixon wanted those investigating the Watergate scandal, the special prosecutor, to be fired, right? This is like I mean, there's a reason that Roger Stone has a tattoo of Nixon on his back. He's obviously a psycho, but he loves Richard Nixon. These guys love corruption. Like, and last I checked, the Justice Department's public integrity section, which is full of a bunch of other lawyers, apparently Pam Bondi is sitting them down in a room and is like, which one of you is going to be the one to drop the Eric Adams case? Just wild. Just wild. Wild criminality. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/bitchuationroom. Do